Hey everybody, this is Jenny at Garden Honey Apiaries, and in this video today I just want to briefly share how I do my wax rendering when I have extra cappings from harvesting honey. I use an old slow cooker, and that's the only thing that I use it for is rendering honey. Because this wax is nasty and sticky and it's hard to get cleaned off, so you definitely don't want to use your the one you have in your kitchen. I line it with a slow cooker liner, and I picked those up at Walmart. The one that I'm actually using today, I'm reusing from the last melt because it didn't have any holes in it and I don't see the point in wasting it. So I relined it. I filled it with roughly a cup or two of water, and then I'm going to put my wax cappings in the slow cooker. These are dried. These are from last year, and this is my fourth bag. So I'm just going to set it in there. Okay, and then I'm going to, and this is paint strainers. I picked these up at Menards, or any hardware store probably has them. So just kind of backtracking a little bit, what I do with those is when I'm harvesting my honey and I have my cappings, I actually save the cappings in the paint strainer bag, which is nested into a 5-gallon pail, so that any residual honey will come off and go into the bucket. I try to waste as little as possible when I'm doing my cappings. So the honey will drain off of those, and then what I do is I put them out in a 5-gallon bucket with fresh water, and I just take the hose out and I keep rinsing the bag, and I let that honey dissolve off of there. And then when that's done, I take the bag out of the water and I just lay it flat in the sun. I have a patio table that is not a solid surface, it's the netted type metal, and so it gets airflow and it drains off and it gives it an opportunity to dry out in the sun. So I do that, and then I have saved these from last year, like I said, and now I'm ready to melt them down. So then I'm going to put my lid on. Okay, and it does stink. So I recommend that if you have a patio or a porch or somewhere that you can do it outside, even in a garage, because it does stink up the house. I'm on a Four Seasons porch right now, and I've got the windows open above me, and it helps, but it does still smell. So then what I'm going to do is, I have turned it up to 200 before, and I feel that that even is just a little too high. So I'm going to set this for about 150, and in a couple hours I'll come back and I'll check to see how the wax is melting down. It usually melts down beautifully. I find that it smells more when the temperature's high. You don't want to scorch your wax, and you don't want it to be, stinky. So just put it on a low temp, let it do its thing. You could even do it through the night, but if you're going to do that, put it on a super low temp. And then you just let it sit, let it melt, do its thing. And then what I do afterwards is, these are the old paint strainers that I store my wax in when I'm doing my cappings and stuff. And I have 3 in here, and I just put in a cardboard box. These make excellent fire starters. So if you want to hold on to them, you can. If you have a fireplace in the house, they actually work very well. Or if you're camping, take them with you. Otherwise, you can just throw them in the garbage. Then what happens after that then is you get your wax. Now this is the last one I did, and I found that this one is actually cleaner than the other ones that I did. I will run these through again after this 4th batch that's in the cooker is done. I actually have some old pantyhose, and I'm going to put those, I'll do one at a time, I'll put those in the pantyhose, and I'll actually knot it and then pull it back up over so it's double thickness for putting it in the wax melter again. I'll put it in my slow cooker again, and I'll melt it down again so that I can clean up that wax even more, because if you see, this one was really nice and clean, but this one is darker and it's not as clean as I would like it to be, so I want to clean that up. And this being the first one that I did, definitely had a lot of debris and sediment in it. So I want to clean these up, and I'll put them, instead of using the paint strainers, which I believe has bigger holes, I'm going to use nylon, and we'll see if that helps. I typically do use nylons when I'm doing this anyhow, but because the wax cappings were already in the paint strainers, I just decided to use those instead of transferring them into nylons. It was just a lot cleaner. So my slow cooker is heating up, I can hear it, and it will sit out here for a couple hours. I'll come back and check on it and see how it's going. Afterwards, once your wax is melted, you can lift the paint strainer bag, lift it out of the cooker, and you'll see all this nasty stuff. That's like bee parts and just different things that get collected in your hives. And then what I do is I hold it up and I let that extra wax drain out. I don't squeeze it. Do not squeeze the bag. As much as you want to get that wax out, just let it be, because if you squeeze it, you're going to squeeze this nasty stuff into your finished product, and you don't want that. So pull that bag out then, out of your slow cooker, and it'll, like I said, you'll just grab it right here and you'll pull it up and out, and it will drain the extra wax. Then you put it over here and just let it be. Turn off your slow cooker, keep the lid on, and then come back in probably a couple hours to check. Your wax actually will start to harden as the water cools. Your wax will float to the top. Then, when it's all cooled, you'll actually be able to pull your wax out. I just take it into the kitchen sink and I pull it out, I rinse it off, and then I discard whatever is left in here. There's just nasty water, and I just discard that and clean things up and start the next batch. So I hope this was informational for you. Like I said, I use the paint strainers, and I use the slow cooker liners. I did not use this the first time I did it, and it was a mess. This makes cleanup so much more easy. So I hope that you enjoyed the video and it was helpful. Thank you for watching.